What's up guys? Today I'm taking a look at the new electric TTI Glock 34, modelled after the one John Wick uses in the second movie. Opening up the box, it's got a fancy little picture of it on the front. Inside the box it has some nice presentation with foam cutouts for all of the parts to fit into. This blaster was actually released in December and it's a limited run of only 400 units. On the bottom it has a unique number, so you know which unit you got out of the 400, although which number you get seems to be a bit random because I got 390 and I asked and there's at least 100 units left to buy. This limited edition version has a staggeringly high price tag at $765. However, the mass-produced version of the Glock 34 is now available too, just recently announced, and that comes in at a much lower $329. With the same performance and the same internals, just a slightly different externals. And you can actually get that mass-produced Glock 34 for as low as $296.10 using my YouTuber discount code, which also gives me a bit of a kickback and helps support the YouTube channel, but more on that in the video description. This blaster was sent to me by the new manager at Tac Toys now that Corey's left, and all I had to pay was the $40 registration fee to South Australia Police, and I got a serial number ending in 69. So now let's have a look at the blaster. This is a mag-fed electric pistol, semi-auto. It has a 20 shot capacity and fires over 200 feet per second. This is an upgrade over the original 3DG Glock 17, and the way they've managed to do that is by having metal gears, metal piston tooth, stronger motor, which allows them to have a stronger spring in there. Compared to a gas blowback pistol that shoots 270 FPS, 200 is a bit lower. However, the battery in this will last you over 400 shots, whereas with gas you'll need to change your CO2 bulb or refill the gas every 80 shots or so. CO2 and green gas are also a consumable, which make the long-term cost of using a gas blowback pistol higher than an electric pistol, which is why some people prefer electric. It has a metal slide. Racking the slide doesn't actually chamber a gel ball, so you could just rack it all day if you want to. It has a metal mag release. The mag is not heavy enough to drop freely out. You have to actually pull it out, and because I had it full, it shot all the gel balls out. It does have a metal flared mag well though, so it makes it easier to get your mag in. Up the front, there's a green, I believe it's probably a fake green fiber optic sight, and you've just got fixed rear sight, which it's pretty easy to aim with this blaster compared to some of the other pistols I've used before. When your mag's empty, the slide will lock back, and up the front here we've got a gold anodized barrel with a 7.5mm internal diameter. And just like a true Glock, you've got a trigger safety, which if you don't push this tiny bit in on the trigger, it won't fire. Overall weight of the pistol is about half that of a gas blowback, so around that 400 to 500 gram range, even with all these metal parts. It definitely feels a little more toyish than my gas blowback pistol, but it definitely looks the part. It's got lots of fine details engraved on there, and overall aesthetically, I like it. This magazine has seen some improvements over the original 3DG Glock 17. So first of all, they've made it so it feeds gels more reliably. And on this limited edition version, they've got this metal mag extension at the bottom here, which gives you a tiny bit extra space for that battery, because we all remember how difficult it was to squeeze that battery in. With the cheaper version of this, I don't think it does have as much space, so you will still be cramming that battery in. I have seen some people though 3D printing an extension for the battery compartment. If someone can find that, maybe link it down below and I'll pin your comment, but that would be very useful to have for the cheaper Glock. Now, because this has an internal feeding tube that runs from about here all the way down to the grip, when you first use the blaster for the day, you want to put a full mag in and then just fire it a couple of times until it locks back. That's probably going to be about 6 to 8 shots, and then just take out the mag and fill it up again. What that's done is it's left a bunch of gels inside the feeding tube, which for the rest of the day will give you 20 shots. Unfortunately though, as I pointed out before, the mag does, if I give it a shake it'll come out, but it doesn't free drop. It's not heavy enough to free drop like your GBB mags. Now, because this barrel is 7.5 mil, you'll probably want to be using Alpha King, either the black packets or the new orange packets. I'll be trying both of them today in an accuracy comparison and an FPS comparison to see which one works best. All right, so now I'll set up the Chrony and we'll see how hard this is shooting. Okay, so I've set up the Chrony. This is actually an archery Chrony, and what I like about it is it will never give you an incorrect reading. Instead, if it's unsure on a velocity, it'll just say error instead. So now let's try the orange pack AKs. $196, $170, $174, $157, $201, $175, $177, $167, $173, $157, $180, $163, $166, $186, $177, $169, $171, $185, $182, $180, $183, and that's the mag locked back. So only one of those shots actually went above 200. Most of them were sitting at probably around an average of 180, but I'll put the averages up on the screen in the computer. Now let's try the black packet AKAs and see how hard they hit. All right, black packet AKAs. 157, 207, 196, 165, 194, 181, 221, geez, 162, 205, 185, 192, duplicate 192, 220, 186, 199, 238, 202, 194, 183, 219, and we're locked back. So comparing the FPS of these two gels, I have to say the AKA black packet was shooting harder, although the orange pack I think was a bit more consistent. And that makes sense because the orange pack are meant to be a bit softer, but more consistent in size than the black pack. All right, so now that we're done with the Chrony, I'm going to set up an accuracy test 20 meters away from a 1 meter diameter target. We'll see what kind of groupings we get. The other week I did the same test with a GBB, so we'll be able to compare the groupings. Okay, so I have the blaster clamped down in a vise. And first up we'll do the orange packet AKs. Okay, we might be aiming a little to the left. That's better. That's better. That's probably enough. So now I'll put 2 mags of the black pack in just to make sure we're cleared out of the feeding tube. That's actually pretty good. And that's probably enough of the black AKAs. So that's the accuracy test done. You can put this vise away now. But to actually compare the two groupings, I'll have to do that back on the computer at home, because I couldn't really tell a difference just visually by shooting it. They looked pretty close to me. So firstly, here's the grouping of the orange packet AKAs. And now overlaying the grouping of the black packet AKAs, they both look identical to me. Here's my Golden Eagle gas blowback pistol firing black packet AKAs. I would have to say this electric Glock 34 was more accurate with them than my GBB pistol was. However, my GBB can fire the new Ultra Elite gels, which I couldn't get to fire reliably out of the Glock 34. And with Ultra Elites, the GBB has a slight edge. Considering this pistol came out before Ultra Elites even existed, I can't really fault the blaster for not firing them out of the box. But with some work on the mag, I did eventually manage to get Ultra Elites feeding just fine. If you want to know more on how to do that, message me in the comments down below. But overall, the Glock 34 has some great accuracy in comparison to a gas blowback. So what are my thoughts on this blaster? Well, with the new changes here in South Australia, we can now own gas blowback pistols. And the other week, I reviewed the Golden Eagle, which costs about the same amount as the mass-produced version of this. Electric will never hit the same velocities as gas because of the limited space inside for a tiny little cylinder. But if you just want to charge a battery and play the whole day without having to refill gas or change CO2 canisters, this is a very compelling option for some people. I think 200 FPS, even though it is lower than a gas blowback pistol, is still plenty enough for a sidearm or for CQB. If you want to buy this limited edition TTI version, you can get it for $688.90, or you can get the mass-produced version for $296.10. You can do that by using my affiliate discount code, which I'll leave in the description down below. That does give me a bit of a kickback to help support the channel and buy more blasters to review for you guys. That code also works on other blasters on their site, such as the brand new ZB26 machine gun. I think I've covered pretty much everything I possibly can about this blaster. That's it for this video. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so that you know whenever I upload a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.